Welcome everyone, AdamTheWoo here. These chickens, roosters, hens, and fowl are descendants of an extinct attraction that used to actually reside directly where we are standing. I'm talking about Knott's Berry Farm's own Jungle Island Lagoon. And you gotta wonder if the ancestors of these flocky creatures have any recollection in their little minds about the history that exists right here. But this guy does, Count Stankus, who actually, you have a lot of memories from the 70s and 80s, back when this place actually still existed.
And I think that rooster's great-grand Cluck can tell you all about it. If you
That's right. You old rooster, you old rooster, you old rooster.
Come on, get away from me.
That's right. Come on, that's right. Come on. Wouldn't you rather stick a beak in me, look into my eyes, see what's going on in there when you turn it? It's my second channel, daily vlog channel. It's the Daily Woo, hanging out with Count Stankus at another extinct attraction. And remember the last time we went to an extinct attraction? Someone darted out of the bushes and ended up becoming a whole thing.
Oh.
Which we will not talk about.
Not discuss that.
Let's hope that does not happen again today.
I don't think so.
But it's cool to be hanging out here with you because you actually went here when across this little waterway existed the Lagoon of Goodness. What was it actually called?
What was it called? Jungle Island.
Jungle
Island.
Right, and those that are actually watching this vlog will actually probably also remember that I did the very first meetup I ever did in California right here. And I've actually become really good friends with a lot of people who actually showed up at that meetup. That was like 2 years ago when I started the vlog at the top of that. And when I was here at that time, I did not realize that this used to be a historic memory for a lot of people in Orange County, California.
It was an awesome memory. This place is too cool. Jungle Island. You could go run around on the island. It had different trails and hills and weird places to hide. And they had these like, I don't know if you want to call them carvings. I guess so.
What were
they're called woodnicks.
Woodnicks. Which was the name of the car. They were like hand carved, basically.
Yeah, I don't remember the name of the artist. I'm sorry. I wish I could remember his name. But he created all these crazy animals, and they post them all in different weird places. But
not real animals like these roosters and chickens and all these other creatures, which, like I was saying at the beginning, were actually here back in the day. And of course, they have like reproduced, and they have actually spawned off a whole offspring of other gooses and geeses. These are not goose or geese. Have you ever actually stumbled across a real goose? They are very mean. And they like to defecate a lot.
Yeah.
Like if there was a goose back there, there would be a whole trail of dung.
There is.
Basically right across. So basically this moat.
This is the Jungle Island Lagoon.
The Jungle Island Lagoon, which I like to call it a moat because that's pretty much like the pirate or the explorer or the guy who's attacking the castle version inside of me.
Yeah. Well, the only way
thinks
to get
of this
to get to the island was to get over the.
So it's basically a moat.
It's like a moat. Yeah.
So this is the Jungle Island Lagoon / moat, and these rocks you were telling me before we started the vlog were actually here back in the day.
Yeah, it's all original.
So the only way to get across to this was to swim. So you have to take your shirt off and you would jump in and you would swim across with the fishes and the ducks and the Loch Ness monster that is bubbling.
Get on the back of a frog.
Oh, a frog?
And get across. A big one. A big frog.
Are those big frogs still in existence? But actually, in reality, there was a covered bridge, which actually we will walk over and we'll show you where the entrance of. And you can actually look at some old photos. Just Google. There's not a whole lot online. I think there's like a Facebook group and a couple other things, people who posted a few pictures.
Yeah, the information on the net's not that great. It's kind of unfortunate. I think this place really was more popular for the locals. You know, people who lived around here. I mean, so there's just not a lot. You know, so those of you that went and remember this place, check out your parents' photos.
Look through the old parents. Just dig through your old parents' photos.
You might have it.
So just go through your parents' drawers, look around, look through the photos. Probably not the best idea. Maybe you should ask. Maybe you should ask your parents, do you have any old photos of me at Jungle Island? That would probably be more wise. But there was actually a covered bridge, which we will show you the entrance to it, that took you into Jungle Island. And there was actually all kind of hills and like wooded area and foliage, and you were saying they bulldozed all that in the 90s.
They leveled it. I mean, they pretty much leveled it. I mean, it wasn't flat like you see here. It was crazy hilly all over, and a lot of trees, and I mean, you could get lost lost when you were a kid. It was great. It was the one place you want to go to run away from mom and dad. They won't find you.
It's kind of like the Cheers, where everybody knew your name.
That's
So
right.
you'd be in the island, and all the people in the island would know your name. But it's like a kid's version of Cheers. I wonder if Norm from the island is actually on there. And what is the bubbling? I'm making the joke about that being the Loch Ness Monster. But what is the bubbling that's showing up from down there?
Maybe it's one of those giant frogs that took you across.
Could be the frog, or it could be Norm. It could be Norm. He's drowning in the water right there. Another interesting artifact as well is you can definitely tell this has been aged, and this definitely has some history. And do you think this actually was an original remnant from the 70s?
Absolutely.
Do you think maybe that you sat in that bench as a child?
Probably. I have fond memories. Actually, my grandparents used to love to sit in these things.
Really? And how many of these do you think are left? That's the only one I see.
But they used to go all the way around.
Oh, that's the only one.
Yeah.
But they went all the way around the lagoon.
Well, not side by side, but there was a handful of them around.
And that, you're right. That is the only one. And this is, I would probably say this is made of wrought iron.
Yeah.
It's like a wrought iron. And you can see back in the day how if you made a chair for someone now, you would never make it this tiny.
No.
Because as people have progressed and as a society we have gotten older, we love to eat and become larger individuals as time goes on. In the 70s, we were not as heavy as we were, but people are growing taller now. I don't know what it is, something in the meat. Maybe it's something in these chickens that we consume. Maybe it's these chickens that we get taller and bigger, and it's very hard for us to sit. You can see someone has actually cracked this right here because of their weight. That was not me, but you can see there was definitely a lot of wear and tear on that vehicle. These chickens are to blame for the size of how we have grown. That is definitely awesome. You can tell us from the 70s. That is super cool with the grapes right there in the flower pattern.
I never noticed that. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, pretty cool though.
Maybe it's supposed to be like, what's the berry? The Knott's Berry Farm
It could be a Knott's Berry. It could be a boysenberry or a
Boysenberry,
Knott's
there you
Berry. And look at this. You can see how it's chipped off over time.
Yeah.
This has decomposed. The water from the rain and the storms has actually
And the chickens.
started to dissipate, and the chickens right there, which are following us, probably the chickens probably think we actually have food. I'm sorry to break this to you, chickens. I do not have any food. Or ducks. Look at these ducks. This is actually a really cool, even though it is non-existent anymore, this is still a very cool area to walk around, do a little reflecting, a little mind searching, a little soul searching out here with the chickens. And this pavement, do you think this pavement was original as well?
I think so, yeah.
You can tell from the cracks and the trees busting through it.
It's so bad.
Weathered and worn. Look at this. Look at this here. This is a remnant.
Could be.
This is a remnant from Jungle Island. Have we found a memento? We'll just set this right here for someone else to find and reflect
You can't take
upon.
it.
No, we have to leave it. Oh, you know what that is? That is actually a chunk of this.
Possibly.
Oh, look, here's the original concrete underneath it, the cement.
Okay.
So maybe they resurfaced it at one
Sure.
point. Pretty crazy. If anyone finds any old pictures of Knott's Berry Farm's Jungle Island, tweet me, AdamTheWoo, on Twitter, or post it on a Facebook. I'll start a Facebook thread of this vlog. AdamTheWoo on Facebook. So let's go actually find the entrance to where it was. All along this rock wall that has actually been here for decades and decades. You can see the cement holding the rocks in their place. So if you tried to remove this rock, you could not, because it's wedged in the ground with that cement. And a lot of people, when they attend Knott's Berry Farm, they do not realize that this actually is right across the street. It's now a picnic area. You can see these people are all here eating and drinking, probably getting ready to enjoy their day over at Knott's Berry Farm. And you can see the amount of chickens, which are scavengers, which are over there trying to get their morning breakfast. It's called Breakers. It's now called Breakers Park. This is actually super cool. Those restrooms right there have probably been there for quite some time as well. So the picnic center, if you walk through here, the picnic center, which actually there's like a little opening we could actually walk through. So this was not the original entrance, but over there, so if you look straight through here, you can actually walk through here.
It says Knott's Lagoon.
Knott's Lagoon. So where it says Knott's Lagoon is actually where the covered bridge. You can actually Google pictures of the covered bridge. So the covered bridge went right across here. And all this is probably original either. These like old palm trees and foliage and trees. The old Jungle Island.
Check out these rocks. These are the same ones that are out front.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a couple on both sides, so they didn't move them. These things will probably weigh a ton.
So I'm thinking
This has gotta
that
be it.
I'm thinking that the water actually went this way as well.
Yeah, I'm
they
sure it
probably
has to.
bulldozed. So the picture, when you find the picture online, you can actually notice the covered bridge does go at this angle, and the water continues this way. So the picture that you will find online is actually taken from down there. This is all water. The covered bridge is here, and then you go into, and they actually still have a little bit of an homage. They still call it the Lagoon, but it's just not the Jungle Island Lagoon.
Yep.
And water was surrounding you on both sides. We would be inside a covered bridge, similar to the one in Beetlejuice, when they get knocked off and the dog is in the way, and they run off the side and they bust through. Similar to that, you can see the plants, the awesome plants. What is that right there? Is that like a big pine cone on top of that tree?
I have no idea.
It's like a massive pine cone. Very strange. So back in here was all the lagoon area, all in here. We're not going to walk back in here, but we can just take like a little bit of a view, see some of the trees that are still there. Of course, they have built these huts. I'm guessing these huts were not originally here.
No.
So that is all new, the thatch huts. They built a little stage over there. So a lot of memories here. You have way more memories than I do, because I was never here when it actually originated and opened, but you were here back in the day, and this is still here and remains. Leave some comments down below if you have any memories, or if you can dig up some artifacts in the form of picture form online, or any sort of information that you can do some Columbo-like research of yourself, and leave some comments down below. Look at all these animals, these ducks, all wanting. Whoa! Did you see that?
He's dead.
That was a massive fish. What kind of fish do you think that was? Somebody should screenshot that. I really, hopefully I got that on film.
Yeah, that was
because that was awesome. A fish flopped out and was flammering around, probably trying to get away from the ducks. Do you think that this, what is this, a rooster? Or is that a chicken? Is that a rooster or a chicken?
It's a rooster, but he looks kind of weird.
He's a weird looking rooster. He's probably on the hunt for fish. Are you on the hunt for? Oh. Okay, he wants some fish. He's very disappointed he did not catch that fish. But look at all the bamboo that is here. Very awesome. This is cool. So there you go. A little bit of Knott's Berry Farm history, a little bit of local Buena Park, Anaheim-ish area, Orange County, California. All right, we know. He's telling us to end the vlog because he's sick of us bothering his terrain.
That's all right.
So thanks to Count Stankus for his memories. Check out his channel, Count Stankus. He does toy reviews and other weird, all kinds of different stuff. You do a lot of different.
You never know.
You do a lot of different things. Here is some sort of a placard, a memorial.
Golden Rain Trees, presented to Walter and Cordelia Knott on their golden wedding anniversary, June 3rd, 1961, from Knott's employees and what? Concessionaries? Yeah.
So that placard was dedicated in 1961 to Walter and Cordelia Knott, who created Knott's Berry Farm. Walter Knott and Cordelia Knott actually started the restaurant, the chicken dinner restaurant over there, which is super, super good. If you ever get a chance to eat there, I encourage anyone to do that. So there you go, a little walkthrough. I've been here a few times. I did a vlog with Justin here. Gosh, probably.
He didn't know about this, huh?
He didn't know about it either. Yeah, Justin from Live Fast Die Poor had no idea. He actually thought it was just a picnic center, as did I, but thanks to Count Stankus, he has actually informed us of the history and the backstory. And you got to wonder, did you actually ride in this as a child?
Maybe.
Was this something you actually rode in right here? Maybe you did. Maybe
You never know.
Maybe you had a horse-drawn carriage behind that, and you were turning that wheel as a small youngin', saying, I want to go to Knott's Berry Lagoon, I want to go to the lagoon, I want to go to the lagoon. I could just hear you saying it over and over and over in my mind.
Speaking of horses,
Yes.
back over this way they had a burro trail.
A burro trail.
Yeah, when the island was open, it was in the parking lot. So that big parking lot.
So the parking lot over there was not a parking lot at that time.
No.
The water park that's over there now was actually the parking lot. So this was actually a burro trail.
For the park, and there was more parking that used to be out over that way that they don't even use anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. And here comes either security to tell us to leave the property, or I think that's probably security telling us to leave the property. I think that rooster has alerted security that we are not supposed to be here. So we're going to let you guys go. I end you with this. Someone has been feeding these fowl. Someone has been feeding the fowl. Was it you, Count Stankus?
No.
Was it you? But someone has been peppering down, not pepper, because you do not want to feed birds pepper, but they have been peppering down, which is a figure of speech, peppering down food seed. Wonder what kind of seed these birds eat. Probably like some kind of like millet seed.
Cornmeal.
You would feed the birds. Puffins. Oh, what? That might be a puffin.
Could be.
Look at that. Is that a puffin? Feed the birds. See, when I start doing this, they all start flocking.
Oh, yeah.
They all start flocking around. Here you go. Here you go. Feed the birds. Puffins. 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 Now I know why these guys hang out here. And now I'm getting very hungry from watching this. All right. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye. Say goodbye, Count Stankus.
See you guys.